Hello, hello. Ash Playstead here, trading psychology master coach. It is the winter solstice, summer solstice, or the day just after, wherever you happen to be in the world. It is June the 22nd here in Southeast Australia. It is just gone 9 a.m. In the morning. So wherever you are in the world, enjoy this winter summer solstice. It's one of my favorite times of the year, particularly markets. Have a tendency to rise and fall around these important seasonal dates, which is something that I am quite fascinated with. However, that's not what we're going to be talking about today in episode 23 of the Trading Psychology and Mindset Show. Today, we've got a treat for you. We're going to be talking about how to conquer your need to conquer. You know, the need to conquer needs to be turned inward. So I've posted a couple of times about this. Had a bit of fun with it yesterday with posting my Fred Flintstone post, which got a little bit of a laugh. But the real intent behind that post was to point out the caveman. Good morning or good afternoon, 𝐌𝐿𝐻𝐿. How are you? In Costa Rica. Happy... Well, you're in the southern hemisphere there, I think, aren't you? So happy winter solstice, 𝐿𝐻𝐿. Good to see you. So it's the caveman brain that we're dealing with here, that implicit limbic need to conquer, to prevail, to survive. That's what sits behind this. So let's have a look at this. What is actually one of the very first things that you need to do as an aspiring trader, right? It's to become the trader you could be, and believe it or not, it has to do with your evolutionary psychology. That belief that you have that you're going to be one of the winners in this game, that you're going to conquer trading. That's what is so common amongst traders getting into the game. You've done the numbers and, my God, you look at it and you go, goodness me, I can make a lot of money here. I can get rich quickly. I can be in financial freedom. So you get intoxicated by that and you start dreaming that dream, start chasing that dream, and you lay awake at night. I certainly did this myself early on in my trading career, lying awake at night, imagining your successful future, having conquered trading and all the financial benefits that brings. And if you're a little self-aware at the same time, what you start noticing is that you also have this enormous motivation to win. You see the vision, you want to conquer it, and yet at the same time, that very mind that produces that need to conquer is from your distant past. There was a time, not too many tens of thousands of years ago, where we needed to believe against all odds that we were going to survive. We were in this very hostile environment, right? And we humans didn't have all the cool tools that we have today. We didn't have houses, we didn't have guns, didn't have all of those modern weapons. We had little spears. And there were some awesome predators around. And we had to believe that by migration or whatever, that we were going to land on top and that we were going to win. That was a limbic learning, implicit in our very surviving and then thriving. That's the way the emotional brain learns. It starts putting learning in that circuitry, and then it just locks it in, and then it becomes patterned, and that becomes a trait. And it was so successful, this need to win, this belief that I'm going to prevail against all odds. I would call it the Rocky Balboa mentality, that it became a trait that we started inheriting, and it started to become part of our genome. And back then, nobody said anything, of course, and I want to tell you, it was very successful. Without that trait, we would not be the humans we are today. Yet at the same time, when we bring that trait to trading, it's danger, 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 right? Suddenly what used to be so good, so adapted for us, that belief that we could conquer anything really, that we could become anything against the odds, suddenly is used against us in trading. because trading and the environment that we grew up in through evolution are completely different. The environment of trading is about probability. It's not about certainty. We needed the certainty of victory, of being able to master something and to win. That's what got us to where we are now. And therein, this piece of this puzzle is really the secret, the Holy Grail. And that is, to be successful at trading, we've got to be effectively the opposite of these tens of thousands and millions, actually, years of evolution. Because, these, as I said, these traits are completely different. This probability environment of trading is completely different. And even if that's not going to really happen, that conquering everything in our evolutionary history, we needed to believe it. We had to have that hope and that belief. And we had to have that at the very core of our being. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to become the species that we are, right? And yet we take that hard-earned trait that allows us to survive in the short term, short-term survival. We bring that into long-term survival, the game of trading, and it is used against us. And suddenly what we discover is that we want to win, right? We have this desire. We want to make things happen. And yet what we discover is that the more we do that, the more we keep running right into the brick wall. And it hurts. And it's very, what I would call, discombobulating, very confusing. Wanting to win, to conquer, it feels so right and so true, because that's been, hardwired into our circuitry for thousands of years. But we start losing money in trading. We may blow up accounts. We may bleed. And the thing is, understand that sensation was very useful back then, but it's not useful now. They're two completely different environments, right? Two completely different environments. The world of probability requires you to recognize that you do not control the outcome. No matter how hard you believe, no matter how much you want to conquer, you can't make things happen in trading. In fact, what has to happen is you become a good ambush predator, not a hunting predator. You don't stalk, you don't go after. What you do is you wait for the opportunity to come to you. It's a completely different thing. It might sound simple, but it's a completely different thing. And you're not thinking, when you're an ambush predator, I have to win. What you're doing is you're saying to yourself, I'm calculating, I'm being patient, and I know that I'm going to lose quite a bit. So I need to be able to manage that loss. Now, if you were thinking like that 20,000 years ago, that's a dead human species right there. Okay? That's dead. Now, but we're in the here and now, okay? This shift in thinking is at the very core of what you need to do in order to become part of, what I call the 5%, which is really the small percentage of traders, very small percentage of traders who ultimately come out of this process consistently successful. That's what we bring into the game of trading, right? We bring an old mind, which is rooted in survival instincts. That was good for us way back then. And we bring it into trading and we discover something. It's not useful there. What was good for us then is not good for us now. And what you discover is the mind that you bring into trading is not going to be the mind that produces success in trading. So this thing where you really think you're going to win against all odds, that this is the thing that blows up traders in 3 to 5 years, right? 3 to 5 years. Remember, now these are rough numbers, but somewhere between 95 and 98% of all traders are going to blow up and blow through their capital in 3 to 5 years, both their monetary capital and their psychological capital, and they're going to be gone, extinct. They're no longer in that selection mode. They're gone. And yet, because they're sitting there and they're pushing this agenda of, I've got to win, I'm going to win, I'm going to win, against all odds, I can make this thing happen. When in fact, what you start noticing in trading is that you don't control the outcome. You don't control whether or not you win or lose. You don't control whether you're right or wrong. What you're engaging with is randomness. You're engaging the uncertainty and randomness of the markets. Now, you've got risk there. It's scary stuff. The risk of life to the caveman brain, that is your ancestor. And you've got that challenge. You've got a short period of time when this thing is triggered and it's happening. And all of a sudden, those survival instincts kick in, and suddenly you have this enormous desire to win. I can prevail. I can prevail. Now, I would ask any of you watching this, have you felt like that in other parts of life? Well, it's the same in trading, and it manifests itself as revenge trading or jumping out of trades to protect yourself. These are all different responses to conquering and winning and prevailing. They have to be controlled in trading. So again and again, as these traders go through the shrinkage of their capital, what they discover is, I'm not doing it, right? I'm not doing it. Now, I want to talk again about the Holy Grail, right? You tell yourself that it's out there, right? This is what traders do in this prevail mode. The Holy Grail is out there. It's out there somewhere, and that's what they're thinking, right? However, it's faulty thinking. If you can survive that particular moment, and remember, most don't, 95 to 98% don't, what you discover is the Holy Grail is not out there somewhere. It's right here. It's right here, folks. What happens is your job now becomes to go in and really to start to discover what beliefs you are engaging the randomness and uncertainty of the markets with. Not the ones you talk about, right? Not the ones that say, I'm going to win, I'm going to be able to do this, I'm going to make things happen and everything. It's just going to be, I've got it. I can win against all odds. No, it's not those things that you tell yourself. The beliefs that show up under stress as you engage uncertainty with risk. Folks, that's the name of the game. That's where those underlying beliefs that are quite often beyond conscious awareness, that's where they show up under the stress of trading. Now, to be able to manage those, you're going to have to learn to regulate emotion. You're going to have to learn a totally different way of understanding emotions, but you're also going to have to regulate that emotion. And even more than that, you're going to have to get in and find the beliefs that are driving those emotions that you engage uncertainty with. Okay, friends, that's what most traders don't do. I'll say that again. That is what most traders don't do. They keep believing that they can just push through it, that they're going to win at all odds. They're going to conquer this thing of trading. That is the wrong mindset. Because the truth is, you're not. The truth is that you're going to have to get at these very deep emotional beliefs that you don't even know you have. They're below conscious threshold, and you're going to have to find them and alter them so that as you engage uncertainty, it's not about winning or losing anymore. It's literally about how you play the game. It's the mind you bring to the performance. And here's the big sort of takeaway statement, if you like. What you discover is that the Holy Grail of trading success is managing the mind and managing the emotions that give rise to the mind that engages uncertainty. Okay, friends, that is the Holy Grail. It's right there. It's not out there. It's right there, right here. It's not in all of that, I'm going to win, I'm going to win, I'm going to win. It's not about looking at the numbers and saying, all I have to do is keep emotions at bay. That is a fallacy. Right? You're never going to keep emotions at bay. You are an emotional being. The key is what emotions are going to show up as you engage the unknown. Okay? You can apply this to every aspect of life because life is very uncertain. Trading is a very concentrated place of uncertainty. Okay? Your evolution is going to say fight, fight, flight, flight, aggression or fear. However, the good news is that by design and by intention, you can learn to approach differently. You can approach with curiosity, with discipline, with impartiality, and with patience. And as you do that, you let go of the need to win and lose, to conquer trading. Your job becomes performance. And that's when it's, that realization. What I've got here is performance. I can control performance. I can control the mind that performs. That's what gives me the mental edge, the psychological edge that takes me out of evolutionary psychology, that needing to win at all odds, and gives me this enormous, incredible gift of where my job becomes to perform, to do my job and just let the numbers fall. That's right, 𝐌𝐿𝐿𝐿. That's absolutely right. Thank you for adding that comment. We do tend to deny emotions, and particularly in the world of trading, 𝐿𝐿𝐿, it's taught and advocated by so many people, and it drives me a little bit mad that there's this mistruth, this fallacy that we can block emotions, that we can deny emotions, that we can avoid emotions. That might be okay at a high level, surface level, but under the pressure of risk, money on the line, triggering the caveman brain into survival mode, that just gets absolutely washed away. Your emotions will always be there. And I think this is the truth that comes out of that, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, is all thinking is emotional state dependent. All thought is emotional state dependent. Okay. Now, assuming that your methodology, the rules that you follow, have an edge in them, what you're going to do is to bring the psychological edge that was always there. You know, this is not something that you need to create from the outside. That's the message here. The psychological edge for every one of you is already there, latent. It's just unrecognized at the moment. You haven't discovered it yet. And then you build it into the mind that engages the randomness, the uncertainty. Okay? That's what this is all about. This is how you conquer your need to conquer, right? By recognizing that you can, by design and by intention, build a new mind using your latent but hidden talents and traits to approach uncertainty differently. Okay? Now, this is the reason that I started this YouTube channel. So I really, really encourage you to come and learn more. Go and check out Trading Psychology and Mindset, my channel on YouTube. That's where all the videos are. They're all free, and I'm going to keep making more and more and more. So there's this repository of information, education, and knowledge that you can refer to keep on track with establishing your mental edge. Okay? Now, I really want all of you to become one of the consistently profitable traders that arise out of this, and begin to see that trading has always been about the mind, always been about the mind. It's always been about the emotions, and it's always been literally about the psychological self that you engage uncertainty with. Now, there's lots of systems that give you an edge, dozens, if not hundreds of systems and methods that give you an edge. But the psychological edge, this one I'm talking about, that's the one that drives it all. That's the one that drives it all. So come and learn to design that. I highly encourage you to look at more of the videos, pick up some takeaways that you can start to practice and build into your approach to trading to drive your system edge. Okay? This is the key. This is the pathway to becoming one of those traders that takes capital from the market over time, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, and move away from one of the 95, 6, 7, 8% that contribute all the capital over time. It is the psychological edge. Okay, so come and learn to design that to drive your method edge. Okay, take care. And you're right, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. I thank you for your comment. This is the #1 most important topic. If there was a holy grail in trading, this is it. Okay? Take care. Have a fantastic day, a fantastic week, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for coming and having a watch. Check out the YouTube channel. I will see you on episode 24 next week. Take care.